Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm Steve. Mark's at work, and this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back. So let's just dive right in. Today is World Mental Health Day, and oh, irony of ironies, because I am having a mental health day myself. Um, Let me give you a little run through of the last 12 hours and what's probably going to come up in the next 24. So, um, first a bit of gratitude. I've been in worse shape. So I'm not, in a super bad spot. I'm not feeling functional at the moment. But things can change quick. So the last 12 hours, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon right now, 2:30 or 3. I did take the day off of work. And that goes back into last night. Last night, Mark and I were having pizza, watching a show, finish up, good night, go to bed. And I start waking up maybe every hour and a half or so with racing thoughts. And they race and race and race. And they race in 1,000 different directions, some good, some bad, a lot of tangents. Um, and then I finally fall back asleep. And then I wake up again, and it happens again. By the time the sun comes up, I'm fried. I'm not really sure if the time on my clock is accurate. I don't trust it. Um, the lights are, the sun's coming up, but Mark's still in bed. Shouldn't he be at work? Don't I have to be at work? What's going on? What's happening? I can't think clearly. So I text my boss. I'm like, I'm just not in a good spot right now. I can't, you know. And it was fine. It was okay. Um, and then of course I get anxious about that too, because I feel guilty. I'm going to use language in which I speak about myself. Today is World Mental Health Day, so in the terms of, fighting stigma, we use person-centered language around individuals with mental health concerns, but I'm talking about me right now. I feel weird calling in crazy. Even though I work for an organization that totally gets that, um, it feels weird. Like you're not throwing up, you don't have a fever, um, you're not contagious. I don't think bipolar is contagious. It certainly has a ripple effect, but it's not contagious to my knowledge. Um, but you still can't do your job. So it feels like a little, even I internalize it. It still feels like a little fake, you know, like suck it up. The old bootstraps come back up. And it's like, get it together, suck it up, don't be such a baby. There's people with real problems and they still can get through their days and stop feeling sorry for yourself and all that kind of stuff. Um, and there's a strain of self-pity that comes in with all of that, and that makes me positively ill because nothing to me is more off-putting or unattractive than a person who feels sorry for themselves. And on a day like this, I start to feel sorry for myself, which makes self-loathing pile on top of itself as well. So these things snowball. So I found myself sleeping in. As if this is any indicator, this was the shirt I had on in last night's video. I haven't taken it off yet. I haven't showered yet. I was wearing the ugly hat with the cigarette burns in it because it was more comfortable. I think this was as much as, I'm sorry guys, this was as much dressing up as I could do. I put a hoodie on. And I have Dandy with me for my comfort animal. And a heating pad because it's like a warm hug, so I have that. And Mark left just a little bit ago. I did the dishes so I'd feel productive. Couple things. I forgot what month it was. Um, any one thing like that, like you forget the date or something like that. Any one of those in isolation would not be a big deal. But when they all slam together at once, it's a lot to take on. And people mean well and try to be comforting and try to relate. If I share with someone I'm having a rough day, I left, my wallet at home. They're like, oh, I forget my purse sometimes. Well, thanks, but I never ever forget my wallet. I also that morning was up at 5 o'clock starting to cook. Like there's other things that you stitch together that make it like signs and symptoms rather than just a one-off sort of thing. So that was what led me up to here. Mark left. He's like, do you need anything? I said, I'll text you. I said, you don't even have to text me back. I might just need to vent. And so I'll just vent. And he said I could call or call the restaurant or whatever. And he's always Mark's good like that. We, if I'm at work and he needs something, or he's at work and I need something, we'll pick up the phone. He's not even a phone person, but he'll pick up the phone if I need something. Uh, and then what leaves me now is I was gonna film. I was gonna check in because this is one of the things I do that helps me feel better. Uh, so I didn't want to skip this. I also didn't want to turn the camera on and whine for 10 to 15 minutes. So what's coming up in the next, I guess, 24 hours, because I'm only going to plan, I guess, that far ahead, I'm going to have to either have a dramatic turnaround or get my game face on and just suck it up. Because tomorrow I have to give a presentation on people who have mental health concerns and who deal with substance use together. And I'm doing it at a new provider that I haven't been to before, with a new director who I've never met before. And it's tomorrow afternoon, be like 24 hours from now. So in between now and then, I have to pull everything I can out of my tool chest to try to feel better. Whether that's napping, an excessively long hot shower, whether it's eating healthy food even if I don't feel like it. It could be any combination of things. Grooming, I might shave again, even though I kind of don't need to, just to feel freshened up, pick out a sharp outfit for tomorrow, get all my pills ready for the next, like all the things I usually do to try to take tension off the next day. Anything I can do to put distance between me and insanity at the moment, I'm all in favor of. I just need to get it as far away from me as I can. Because I can't not, today my schedule was clear. So it's not good to not be at work. And I don't like, especially lately with work, it seems like every 2 to 3 weeks, and I accrue like a day and a half of personal time a month, and plus my anniversary of employment was July, so I stacked up a decent amount of time. But I don't really take vacations because I can't, because I'm taking like a day every 2 to 3 weeks off. It feels like I'm just keeping it together. Just keeping it together. And I'm not in a bad spot. I'm not in a great spot. I'm just hanging on here a bit. So I feel guilty about that too. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to pull it together tomorrow, but I'm going to pull it together tomorrow. I can suck it up for an hour. I can, one of the reasons I stayed so sick and undiagnosed as long as I did is because I became a very good actor. I can't act on stage. I suck. But as far as pretending to be fine when I'm not fine, I can usually hide that. But on a day like this when I'm not feeling well, it doesn't serve me at all to pretend to be fine, because what I would have done was just try to skate through the day with a smile and a quick joke and pretend like everything's fine, and then come home and just be dead inside, and collapse in an Ophelian heap onto the bed. And then not wanting to upset Mark, don't tell him that anything's wrong, but if he doesn't know anything's wrong, then he can't help, and he's very helpful when he knows I'm not okay. So can you kind of tell by how fast I'm talking? I'm a fast talker, but by how I'm kind of like going in different directions, I'm not feeling quite myself. Not quite myself. Everyone's, it's mental health awareness. I think people are aware that people with mental health issues are out there. We're out there. And maybe they have an idea that it's like the, I don't know, the guy who sits in this town square and talks to himself, and he wears a trench coat and his hair is scraggly, and, he has an unfortunate set of teeth. Or a bag woman who smells like she hasn't showered in a while, like that you see in the grocery store, and you might not want to make eye contact, But it's a lot of us. It's a lot of different kinds of people that it happens to. Some of the stuff, like, I did this in another video just for like a voyeuristic glimpse, because some of this stuff isn't like for everybody to see. Luckily, I'm not burdened by shame, and I think some of the mess that comes with a mental health day, whether it's, having too much Diet Coke or, hold on, I'm talking about mental health and I just lit a cigarette. If this thing is monetized, I would be damn near surprised. Indulging in little vices like that. Thank God my big vices don't creep onto the radar anymore. Because they would be bad, because I am co-occurring. I have substance use history and mental health concerns, and one puts me at risk for another. So if I have a setback in one area, I'm much more likely to have a setback in another. So when my mental health slips, I've got to be a little more on guard, of wanting to cope in ways that aren't healthy. And it doesn't mean just drinking. I might want to go binge. And I have a history of binging and then feeling guilty about that and then wanting to go get rid of it. And then feeling guilty about that. Guilt is a permeating feeling I get. I guess if there's any, I get symptoms, that come with the illness, but then I have feelings about things too. And I think the guilt isn't a symptom. I think the guilt is like my emotional reaction to all of it. I feel guilty that I'm not well enough to deal with life at the moment. I'd feel guilty for using bad coping skills. I feel guilty that I can't get into work. I feel guilty that Mark even has it on his mind going to work that I might not be doing okay. I feel guilty filming this and even kind of mentioning it because I don't want anyone to feel like they have to say anything or be supportive or give me a pat on the back or anything like that. To be honest, I just wanted to vent a little, but to also kind of point to the fact that, it happens to a lot of different types of people. I'm one of those types of people that it happens to. I didn't think it should. It didn't seem fair. It doesn't run in my family or anything. So it's, at least not severe mental health issues, but here we are, you see. So again, for the rest of the evening, it's going to be hardcore self-care, probably to bed early because Mark works late. So usually when he does that, I'll have dinner, and then by the time I'm eating dinner, he gets home, and then we'll visit for a little bit, and then I'll go back to bed. So I'll get to see him later. Maybe he'll get out early or something. I don't know. And just take it easy. Take it easy. And try not to. I feel so bad about not being able. I fixate on work. I don't know why. I feel so bad for not being there. But I did bring my laptop home because I was watching a video for a training I'm going to be giving in December. And my email works here, which I didn't think it did. So I was shooting an email or two back and forth for stuff I have to do tomorrow. So I did get like a little tiny bit of work done. So I felt sort of productive. But then I was feeling a little bit better around noon, and I was going to go in, and I thought, well, I'll just text my boss and say I feel better and go in the afternoon. And then I thought, what if I get there and I don't, and I don't want to look crazy, as if it's news. As if it's not apparent. Especially to the folks I work with. A lot of them have been along for some of the rides that I've been on in a friendly, acquaintancy, more than just boss, coworker kind of way. And it's a good place to work. I like working there. I don't want to have bad blood over like my attendance or anything like that, but I also don't want to go to work unwell and be what I would fear to be disruptive, honestly. Not only could I not get my work done, sometimes my behavior can be as such when I'm not well that I can be disruptive to other people too. So I would want to avoid that as well. So now I'm home. I can only disrupt your evening. And that's only if you watch. So, to the extent that I vented, thank you for listening to me vent. If this gave you a little of insight into different ways mental health affects different people, and maybe a couple of the different ways I'm going to get myself out of it. If I'm well tomorrow, that will be great. If I'm not any better tomorrow, I'm going to have to suck it up and put on a good show. And that'll probably actually build my confidence a little bit. So even if the symptoms are there, I'll have a better attitude about dealing with them. That's where I think I'm going to try to get myself this evening. Even if the symptoms aren't gone away, I'm going to try to take a lighter attitude towards it. Usually humor gets me through. So, and, the beauty of the mood disorder is that whatever mood I'm in, it won't last. So I suppose there's that. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the thumbs up. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and our contact information is listed below. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. And I will catch up with y'all soon. Bye.